Okay. Hello everyone. I'll start our presentation, and our survey place is Padang. Next, please. This is speaker Trully, Kintania, Aji, and Yudai. This is today's topics. And first, Padang's tea profile, Padang's tea geography, and the basic information of Padang city, and the change of urban morphology.
Okay, the first one is Padang city profile. Padang city is the capital city of West Sumatra province, which is located on the west coast of the island of Sumatra. And here's the latitude and longitude. I can read it, so yeah, you can read it on the screen. Based on Peraturan Pemerintah Nomor 17 tahun 1980, the area of Padang city is 694.69 km square, or 1.65% of the area of West Sumatra province. The city of Padang consists of 11 districts. Okay, next is geography profile. The land of city of Padang varies in altitude from 0 to 1,853 meters above sea level, or MASL. The altitude of the city of Padang is between 0 to more than 1,000 MASL, stretching from west to east. The altitude area between 0 to 25 meters above sea level is plus minus 22% of the total land area, while the area of more than above 1,000 MSL cover plus minus 17%.
Next is Padang history. First, pre-colonial period. Before the 17th century, the town has a very large field, which is called Padang. In the 14th century, it was part of the kingdom of Pagarayan and was a prosperous fishing village ruled by 8 tribal chiefs. From the 15th to the 16th century, the Pagarayan Empire, including Padang, was ruled by the kingdom of Aceh, which expanded its territory and trade. And in 1964, the British became the first foreigners to visit Padang, but it was first ruled by the Dutch East India Company, its VOC. The East India Company caused tensions in the community by dividing the native population in order to increase trade and power. And after Indonesia's declaration of independence, Padang was established as an autonomous region in 1950. It was also designated as the capital of West Sumatra in 1958. And since then, its area has increased from 33 square meters at first to 694 square meters in 1998.
Okay, the next topic is Padang basic information. The first aspect is population. Based on data from Central Statistic Agency, or BPS, in 2021, the city has a population of 609,040 people. And the next aspect is geography. Geographically, Padang is surrounded by hills that reach an altitude of 1,953 meters above sea level with an area of 693.66 kilometers square, more than half of which is protected forest. Okay, the next aspect is transportation. Padang is connected by the newly open Minangkabau International Airport in Ketaping, Padang Pariaman Province. Padang Selo Bayur is the largest and the most commonly used port on the west coast of Sumatra. The next is material. It was a gold producing region. Padang is it was a gold producing region until the 18th century, but due to excessive export, the amount of mining has decreased. After that, coffee, salt, textile, and so on were the main products. The next is economic aspect. The city of Padang, which has been trading since the 19th century, has experienced great economic development to export of coffee to the USA. In addition, the industrial, trade, and service sector are mainstay of the city's economy, providing many more employment opportunities than the agriculture sector. Padang's economy is also supported by the tourism and even industries. And the last one is ethnicity. The population of Padang is mostly from the Minangkabau ethnic group. Other ethnic groups who also live here are Javanese, Chinese, Nias, Mentawai, Batak, Acehnis, and Tamils. Minang people in the city of Padang are immigrants from the other area in the province of Sumatra.
Okay, so the next we gonna come to the change of the urban morphology. So for the urban morphology, we have the change urban morphology from the pre-colonial until the post-colonial, and then we have also the change of urban morphology in this time. Next. So the first one is the pre-colonial period urban morphology. In the early days, the flow of Batang Arau the flow is from the Batang Arau River. The expansion of the city of Padang is not from form of a concentric circle, but in an elongated form towards the north. The city center is also moving from Batang Arau to its north. This is because some of service companies and governments prefer to be in the midst of their consumers. The physical development of the city can be indicated by naked eye through land use. Population growth continues to result in the increase in the allocation of land as residential areas and the expansion of urban areas. Next. So the next is in the colonial period urban morphology. It's around in the 20th century. During the colonial period, the VOC or fort was guided as the center of the city at that time, so that until now the VOC fort can still be found as the 0 point. The spatial change of the city of Padang before the 20th century was a dialectical combination between colonial penetration and indigenous resistance. The spatial expression of the city morphology is dominated by the city defense system, canals, multi-ethnic settlement, and organic circulation patterns. Why is that? Because the VLC or the Netherlands is the place where the city defense system using canals, multi-ethnic, and organic circulation patterns. Next. So the next one or the last one for this colonial era is the post-colonial period urban morphology. In the 20th century, changes was driven by the intervention of the Dutch East in this government. It's still from the Dutch East, resulting in the spatial expression of the morphology of the city of Padang, which is heavily influenced still by the development of the problem in the time. Like 51.01% in the form of protected forest, 7.35% consists of buildings and yards, and the rest is agricultural land and settlement. The city of Padang has 7 conservation areas that were designed 2 years ago. There are 7 conservative areas due to the city has 7 coastlines that aim to protect the marine habitat. These areas have a positive value to the economy because they can become the marine tourism areas. Next. Okay, so this is the morphology changes on urban form in Padang City in the recent years. So this is the map of 2005. You could see on the map that there's a red square, so it is indicating the Plaza Andalas, but during 2005 it was still on progress. Okay, so next here is 2006. There's a significant changes in this red square, which is the Plaza Andalas, and it was the year where the first opening of Plaza Andalas happened. And we're proceed to the 2014. So there was actually an earthquake, or a big earthquake in 2009, which damaged the physical building of Plaza Andalas, but the tools that we use, which is Google Earth, it didn't provide us the map during 2009. And after the earthquake happened, the government decided to do a renovation until it become good again. I mean, like, until it become better. And in a year later, in 2010, the mall, I mean, like, the plaza is open again. So here is the physical, I mean, the map of 2014. Actually, there's no significant changes from the previous map, because I think the damage is not on the roof. I mean, like, the damage is, I mean, it could be on the facade of the building. I mean, not on the roof. So that's why it doesn't change significantly. And here is the very recent one, which is 2021. There's actually an additional development of Wave Breaker in the early 2021. But yeah, as you can see, we can really show the significant changes, because, like, the tide, we don't know we don't know whether the tide is low or like in a high phase. We don't know. So like, it's not going to show. I mean, it's not showed significantly. So here is the conclusion. So from the whole presentation, we know that urban farm changes during pre-colonial, colonialist, and post-colonial in Padang were mostly due to political aspect of this policy, because we used to have Dutch. We were under Dutch colonial, and the size of the area used to be 33 kilometers square, but now it reached 696 kilometers squares. And also, the changes in the recent years were mostly due to catastrophe or natural related. In this case, it was because the earthquake. So this is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.